Well, good morning. It's not quite 10 o'clock, but I'm here just out of the shower. Didn't have time to do my hair. But anyway, it is Friday, November 4th. Wow, November. Holy moly mackerel, Andy. I have two cute things to show you today. Actually, I have three. I can't forget to show you the desktop calendar that we're doing as a class. But we will as soon. It is 10 o'clock, so let us get started. It's Friday, November 4th, 10 o'clock. It's going to be a lovely day here. It's the clouds are parting and the mist is going and the fog is gone and the sun is going to be out, and I'm going to hang clothes outside today and tomorrow. How exciting is that? Anyway, it is Friday, and so let's get started. I'm going to show you what we're doing today. Let me just flip you over. Here we go. Two cards. I'm going to show you how to make this Merry Christmas card, and I'm going to show you how to do this sympathy card, both of which can be used for many different kinds of occasions. If anybody's out there, by the way, please pop on and say hi. Hey, Linda. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Thanks for joining in on this lovely day. Okay, I think what we're going to do first is we're going to start with the Christmas card. So let me move this out of the way, and let me move this out of the way. And let me get everything in here that I need. Now, I am using the Merriest Moments bundle, which I absolutely love. I don't know if it's a bundle anymore. I don't think it's a bundle, but it's a stamp set, and it's a stamp set which has all of these beautiful stamps. Plus, it has lots of dies with it, and it has a hybrid embossing folder, which, let me get this just to show you here. And I'll show you what that means in a minute. But here is the embossing folder that goes along with it. This is a great deal. You get tons and tons of die cuts. These all cut out all of the different images on the stamps. The poinsettia, the berries, excuse me, the berries, the leaves, holly leaves, a little bit of flourish, some fir branches, and some really pretty sayings as well. So this is a really nice stamp set, as well as if you get the dies with it, you get the dies that go with everything. Plus, you get this hybrid embossing folder, which is wicked fun to use. A hybrid embossing folder just means that it has many different abilities. It doesn't just necessarily do dry embossing, but it does dry embossing and cutting out. So it's a really good deal, and I love it. So let me show you how to do this card. All right, so first of all, of course, here, let me bring everything in here. And let me just move this out of the way. First thing we need to do is get your card stuck. And what I did was I used Night of Navy, which is one of my favorite go-to colors. I love it. And I'm just going to make sure it's nice and scored and folded crisply. It is. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how easy it is to use this embossing folder. Now, when you have these hybrid embossing folders, it usually gives you some instructions on how to put the framelits. And what I'm going to do today is I am going to take this frame and I'm going to put it into this piece right here. Now, I don't know if you can see this or not, but there is a little ridge that wait a minute, I've got this upside down. Whoops. Wait a minute, I have to hold it this way so I can see the right way how to do this. I can't do it when it's laying flat. Okay. All right, so there is a little ridge that this thing sits into, and it's secure. It sits in very nicely. See, I did it again. I can't see it. Okay, there it goes. I can't see it because of the grid paper underneath. Good morning, Barbara McDuffie. Thanks for popping on. So anyways, this sits in here, and you can see it's not going to wiggle. Then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put this little rectangle in just like that, and that has a little spot that it sits in too. Then I'm going to take my piece of cardstock. Good morning, Ree. Thanks for popping on. Good morning, good morning. So here is my cardstock. I'm going to lay this on top just like this, and now I have to go over to my Stampin' Cut machine. But there it is. There is the folder. There you go. So, and you can see on the other side that the framelit is right attached to the cardstock, and it's in that little ridge, and it's not going to move when I put it through my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. So hold on, let me come back. This is going to just take a second here. Hold on. Grab a little sip of your coffee, if you will, and just put this in here like this. And I heard the clicking, and it is done. All right, so let me bring it back. And here we go, right here. And now I get to take this out. This pops out. This is going to be a lei that I'm going to use for something else. I don't know what else I'm going to use it for, but it's nice because it's got a stitched edge. So this is going to be saved. So let me put this over here so I don't lose that. And then I'm going to take this out like this. And here is my cut and embossed layer. Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that pretty? It's so, so pretty. Now, the other thing that you can do, if you wanted, was you could cut out, you could take this die and cut this out, and what will happen is you will get certain areas that will pop out, and then you could put a piece of colored card. Good morning, Colleen. Good morning, good morning. And then you could put a piece of colored cardstock behind it. See how that fits perfectly on top of that? So these areas would be popped out, and then you could put something colored underneath it or a piece of designer paper underneath it to give it some contrast. So there's a lot of versatility with this. Now, yes, you may say, well, it looks like it's all Christmas. Well, yes, the stamps and the dies do cry Christmas. There's poinsettias and holly berries. However, I have used this to make beautiful sympathy cards. White on white, it's absolutely stunning. So it's got a lot of versatility. So that's one of the nicest things about using these hybrid folders, because you have the dies, you have the folder itself, and let me just show you what else I did. On my envelope, what I did was I took the, good morning, Jean and Joe, good morning, good morning, thank you for dropping in. So I took my embossing folder, I took my envelope flap and put it in like this. And then I ran it through the Stampin' and Cut machine as an embossed folder. And look at, the flap comes out embossed. And what I did was, because this area was this area on the folder, this rectangle, it was blank, I decided to put my return address label right in there. So look at how pretty that looks. I think it's really pretty. Okay, all right, moving right along. So then the next thing we need to do is get this affixed to my base. So I'm going to use, actually, I'm going to use some Tombow glue here, and I'm going to put Tombow on just like this. I'm not going to get really crazy about where I put this, and I don't care that it's not going to be adhered all the way down on the paper, because it's embossed, it's got some dimension to it, and I think it's going to kind of look nice to have it popped up a little bit. All right, so here is my base. And I'm just going to come in and put this on like this. Now this is a large embossed piece of cardstock. So you want to make sure that you get it within the confines, the east, west, and north, south of the card base, which I have. So there it is like this. Wait a minute, this needs just a tad of an adjustment. Just there we go. Can't have it crooked. It was just a tiny little bit cattywampus, so I just fixed it. So there is that. Easy peasy. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a piece of Night of Navy cardstock, which I cut down to size. I'm going to bring in my embossing because I love to emboss. So here is my little pal, my powder pal. I'm just going to put some of this on here so we get a nice pure, crisp adjustment. And I'm going to stamp Merry Christmas on here like this. Let's see, is that going to fit? Oh, maybe I cut this paper too small. Let's try it. Let's see what happens. Let's see. Whoa, it tipped upside down. Hopefully I didn't mess it. Oh no, that's going to work. Not lovely. So let me get this moved out of the way. Get that moved out of the way. I'm going to bring in my silver embossing powder. And let's see if I can get this on without... There we go. Did I tell you about the first time I used embossing powder at somebody's house? I forgot that the powder was in front of me, and I put my heat tool on, and all of a sudden it was like it was snowing. So I'm going to move this out of the way because I do not want to have silver embossing powder all over me or any place that it's not supposed to be. All right, so I've got my little pinches here. And I'm going to start this up And through the magic of heat and Versamark, let's see what's going to happen. It does take a minute or two for this, not a minute, but it takes a few seconds for this to heat up to temperature. There we go. Here we go. I don't know if you can see that or not. There we go. Don't you love it? I love it. I love the way it just magically turns. Hey, Nancy Patterson Doofus. Good morning. Good morning, good morning. Thank you for popping in. I hope everybody's still in their jams. There we go. We're almost done. Beautiful. One more down here. Whoops, a little bit more. Okay. Cooked. There, it's cooked. Now I'm going to let this thing cool off because it is wicked hot. You know that. All right, so there is this. And then I'm just going to wipe that a little bit clean. Now I'm going to take my little silicone pad and I'm going to put some adhesive on the, oh, you know what? Wait a minute. I'm not going to use that. I'm actually going to use tear tape because I'm going to put it on a piece of glimmer. Yes, it is magic, Ree. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love embossing. I'm going to use tear tape because I'm putting it on a piece of glimmer paper, and the glimmer paper has that metallic component to it. And if you put snail or Stampin' Seal, you could use Stampin' Seal Plus, that would work too. But I've got a ton of this, so let's use this. Anything that is going to be really, really secure is what you want. And so let's pop this off like this. And because I don't have manicured nails, I can get these off very easily. If you have manicured nails, use your pick-me-up tool. Take your pick tool. All right, so this is going to go on like this. Equidistant, north, south, east, west, like that. And there's that. Now what I'm going to do is add some dimensionals to this for one in each corner. It is magic. I love magic. All right, there's that. And then this. Pop these off easily like this. Now I'm going to bring back the base of my card and I'm going to pop this on like this, right in that center. Perfect, 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 perfect. Okay, now there's a little piece with, there we go. Okay, now I'm not quite finished because I want to add some gems. Now what did I do with my, wait a minute, where are they? What did I do with them? Oh, for heaven's sakes, where did I put them? Hold on a minute. I got to get them. I can't, they're not here. My ghost. Once again, folks, the ghost has taken flight. Okay, I'm going to use, here we go. Now, you can use whatever you want. I am actually going to use, on the first one I used rhinestones, but on this one I'm going to use these Christmas red, well, it's red, green, and silver. And I absolutely think they're really pretty. I'm going to take the silver, because obviously there's one. I'm going to put 3 on, just like that, because this just ties in the glimmer paper. How's that? Okay, so that's done. Talk about easy. And then the next thing I'm going to do is take a piece of white, basic white cardstock, and I am going to use the message that says, I like this. Thinking of you this festive season. And because the base of my card is Night of Navy, I'm going to use Night of Navy ink. And this is a horizontal orientation. And so I'm going to put it horizontally like this. Oh, gosh, I forgot my PS pad. Oh, let's hope. Oh, it came out. Woo! A miracle. There we go. Don't tell anybody I didn't use my PS pad because it's a photopolymer stamp and I should have used my PS pad, but I didn't. So it's okay. All right, so now we're going to add a little bit of, first of all, let me make sure this is the right size. This looks awfully big. And guess what? It is. Let me cut this down. Let me come in here. Oh, I know. This was my extra piece of cardstock that I was going to use on to make the embossing layer. and I don't know why I had 2 of them out here for. I may be mad at myself in a minute to see what I've got left. Maybe I don't have enough. We'll see. Just clip this off. Just a tiny little schmidjola here and there to make it fit into my card, because obviously I had the wrong size. All right, let me get this out of the way. I love this little trimmer. This was a trimmer that was offered as a incentive for people to sign on as demonstrators. I don't even know when, but it's a great little trimmer. I know all of you out there have your own little 6-inch trimmers. That is an important tool to have. Just like a take your pick tool, just like a silicone pad, just like a PS pad. Okay, so this is going to go in like this. Perfect. There we go. So there, my friends, is my card, and here is my envelope that I've stamped on the back using the same embossing folder to emboss the envelope flap, and there is the card. But isn't that pretty? I just think it's so pretty. And look at how it took no time at all to do. Easy, easy, easy. Just a really, really pretty card. So there's that. Okay, so let me put this aside. Let me move this over here. Now let's get to the second card that we're going to make. Now, this card can be used for many different occasions. For this one, this past week, for some reason, well, whatever reason, I had to have some sympathy cards, so I decided, well, I'll do this and you do this for my class on Friday. Hey, Lynn, good morning. Thank you so much for popping on. Okay, so here is the card that we're going to make. So let me show you how to start. Of course, we're going to just take the base, which is the basic white, and it's already been scored, and you know, now I'm going to fold it and use my little bone folder, another trusty tool that we love. It's so nice when you have tools that work, that make your process easy. Then the next thing I did was I took a piece of Mossy Meadow cardstock, 5 1/4 by 4, and ran it through the leaf folder, which isn't that pretty? It's just beautiful. I love it. So let's add some adhesive to this and stick this on. There we go. And I am going to do, let's see, yeah, this is good. Yeah, perfect. Okay, like this. Okay, that's good, just like that. I love that. It's so pretty. Oh, God, I can't even stand it. Okay, now let me bring in the sample again. Lynn is from Florida. She doesn't have an accent, although I don't think I have an accent. We don't have accents here in New England, do we, folks? Ha, ha, ha. So anyway, I took the Soft Seedlings stamp set, which is, you know, I have favorites all the time, but this is the Soft Seedlings stamp set. A lot of versatility here. I love this stamp. I love the way it kind of Monets down, being full strength, and then fades out like it does. So let me get this here. Here is the stamp, and I'm going to take the Mossy Meadow ink, and whoops, let's not get it on me, although that's normal. There we go, and here's my stamp. Now, let me bring this in. I have another piece of cardstock right here, and I'm going to show you how to do this. So I'm going to ink this up really nicely. I still have my New York ink. Oh, that's good. Okay, it's funny how accents take place. All right, there we go. I don't need my Pierce pad because this is not a photopolymer stamp. So there we go. Oh, look at how pretty that is. Isn't that beautiful? Oh, I just love it. It's gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. So then the next thing I'm going to do is, in order to get my gilding on, like, let me bring the paper back in, we need to use some adhesive. So my adhesive of choice is Tombow. And this is a, hey, Andrea, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Andrea is from Hemet, California. So she is in her pajamas, I'm assuming, because it's way early in the morning in California where she is. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this Tombow glue, which is in this little plastic container, which my friend Nancy gave me. Nancy is Andrea's best friend, and Andrea is Nancy's best friend. They live on both different coasts. But anyway, Nancy found this in Amazon, and I love it because it's got a very tiny lumen. And the other thing is, this is a quilt pin, and the quilt pin fits beautifully inside here. It keeps that lumen nice and patent. Nothing dries out, and that's the most important thing to remember about this Tombow glue. So anyway, I'm going to put this down, and I'm going to take my glue tip, and I'm just going to start very slowly. Can you see that? And I'm just going to bring little strips of Tombow glue hither and yon. Okay, like this. Just little ones, not big globs. You don't want big globs. Well, you could have big globs if you want. This is your card. You can do whatever you want. All right, so there's that. Now I'm going to put my pin back in. Remember, this is most important that you do this. Keep this inside here, because it'll keep it nice and patent. You won't have to worry about it getting all glued up. All right, so there is that. I'm going to bring it up so you can see very carefully. You can see where that Tombow has been applied to the leaf. Now this has to dry because Tombow is one of those glues that when you use it, it dries tacky. And that's one of the good things about using gilded leaf, because you need tackiness. So earlier this morning, I went ahead and did the same thing. So if you can see, this has now dried, but it's tacky, and that's what I want. So now I'm going to use my gilded leaf. And here, you know, you've seen this before. This is just a little Tupperware, not a Tupperware. So I don't know where I got it. Anyway, and what I do is I keep my gilded leaf in this container. Now it is staticky. Yep, I'm going to admit it is staticky, but that's okay. I should have taken these out earlier. Anyway, I'm going to put them over here. Now I'm going to take this that has dried. It's pretty much dried. I'm going to turn it upside down and just press it in like this. And then look, it all gets attached. But then I'm going to take my brush. Now this brush I dedicate only to my gilding. I just keep it right in the container. All right, and so then I'm just going to brush it off like this. And you want to brush gently, but you want to make sure that you get it off, because you only want the gilding to stay attached to the glue, to the Tombow glue. Now, if I had taken the one that I just put glue on right now, and that glue is still wet, and I put it in this container, what's going to happen is I'm going to brush off pieces of gilded leaf, and it's going to get into my container here, and the Tombow glue is going to stick, and it's going to be messy inside here. So that's why you want to wait until this is fairly dry, okay? Now let me just see here. I think I want to take that off just a little bit more. There we go. Now I'm wicked happy with the way it looks. Okay, so there is that. Isn't that pretty? Look at how easy that is. Totally easy. Again, you put your Tombow glue on. And if you have one of those little containers that my friend Nancy gave me from Amazon, it works really well. Let it dry, maybe an hour or so, and then come back and put it into your container, and then brush it off with your little brush. Now let me move this out of the way. And I'm going to turn this over, and I'm going to attach it to a piece of black cardstock. This one, I think I'm going to make this another sympathy card, because unfortunately I know of a situation that will be requiring a sympathy card relatively soon. So I'm going to make this another sympathy card. And on this one, I only put a 1/16 of an inch border all around because I did. But you could do whatever you want. You could use whatever color you want. So there is that. Now let me get my message in here. Let's see. I'm going to use, with Heartfelt Sympathy, take my Memento ink this up. There we go. I should have probably done this first, because I but it worked. Okay, there we go. With Heartfelt Sympathy. Okay, so there's that. Now I'm going to bring back my my card base. Here it is. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it on this side of the card, because I'm just going to put it, you know what, I'm going to put it on with dimensionals. I am going to use dimensionals because I can. And let's just put this on. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover up that bare space. This leaf embossing folder that I used is a 3/4 embossing folder. It only has embossed Let me see if I can get this better. Let me add this light on. Let me see if this helps a little bit. Oh yeah, that's going to help. So you can see this is a 3/4 fold. This is blank. So in order to cover that up, this is where I'm going to orient this panel right here. So I'm going to put this on like this. And I'm just going to have a little bit of the border hanging around the mossy meadow like that. Isn't that pretty? Oh God, I think it's so pretty. What do you think? Isn't that pretty? And then of course I'm not done. The inside has to have a little bit of stamping. I will be able to write my message, but I'm just going to take this and my envelope, because we can't have naked envelopes. You know how I feel about naked envelopes. Okay, so I'm going to just bring this down here. I know you can't see it, but let me just stamp that, and then let me get this envelope stamped, and there we go. Let me cover this up, because there we go. So here is the inside like that, and here is my envelope, and there's the card. Isn't that pretty? It's just pretty. That gilding is so beautiful. I mean, you can use it for anything, really. It's very lovely. So my friends, these are the cards that we're going to be doing next week. So if you're interested in coming to my class, you can let me know, and let me know what you want of, you know, how many of each. Or if you want long distance packages, let me know. It's a good time to get your own bundle, because this bundle is a fantastic bundle. Well, it's not a bundle anymore. Once it's already been in the current mini, then they put it in the annual catalog and it's not a bundle anymore. But anyway, you can get the dies and you can get the stamp set. It's very versatile, and it's wicked fun to have a hybrid embossing folder like I showed you. So I have one more thing to show you. I am going to be offering this class, let me bring this back up here so you can see it, my annual desktop calendar class, which I'm going to be doing a week from tomorrow. And this is this designer paper is Hues of Happiness. I chose that because I'm kind of like into those colors a lot. And then of course I've got my Mengren pens. I love these pens. They're beautiful. They're a nice weight. It's got the computer tip on the other side, so you can use that instead of your finger. And then the tear off calendar, which once you put it up like this, then you have your Post-it notes. So that class will be a week from tomorrow. So if you're interested in that, let me know. I can also do long distance packages with that. So my friends, that is it for today. I hope you've enjoyed watching this little presentation. And if you need any supplies, please let me know. I'll be happy to accommodate. And I hope that I can see some of you in my classes and or long distance packages. So let me know. And that is it, I think. There's nothing else that I need to show you. And I just want to make sure that everything is not sitting on top of that other leaf that's drying. I will gild it later on. Okay, I hope you have a great weekend. It's beautiful. It's going to be lovely. It's not even going to feel like it's fall. It's supposed to be kind of springish, warm. I'm hanging my clothes outside. Thank you very much for popping in. Your support means a lot. Namaste.